This is the Scrap Metal and Commodities Recycling Report by Benlee, Roll-Off, Lugger, and Open-Top Trailers, and Raleigh Goldsboro Metal Recycling, June 20th, 2016. In this report, positive economic signs in the U.S. continue, with global growth being a concern and commodity prices were somewhat stable. U.S. steel production rose a bit and is now at a new approximate 16-month high. Tariffs on imported steel to the U.S. have slowed imports, so U.S. steel mills continue to ramp up. Oil prices went up a bit last week. While off their recent high, oil prices remain almost double what they were 4 months ago. Oil rigs, which use enormous amounts of steel, had a small increase of 3 last week. After more than 18 months of dropping, last week was the 3rd week in a row of oil rig count increases. But frankly, they still are about 80% lower than they were 19 months ago. With oil prices up from the dramatic low in February, last week was the first time in about 10 months that there were 3 weeks in a row of oil rig count increases. Scrap ferrous prices came down again a bit. As we have said last week, with scrap ferrous flows having increased due to the major price increases of April and May, the large flows brought scrap ferrous prices down. More supply, lower prices. But in new news, we have heard from one major steel mill in the Southeast that scrapyards are having a tough time shipping material. Importantly, as we have said, with scrap prices up in April and May, flows increased due to selective scrapyards and demolition companies sold material that they were sitting on for many months. Now the major price drop this month has had a measurable effect on slowing material coming into many scrapyards. U.S. hot-rolled coil steel continues its march up in price as supplies remain tight. Prices are now at an 18-month high. It is nothing other than a perfect position for a steel mill to be in. Incoming scrap prices have declined, while prices of finished goods continue to trend up. 304 stainless scrap prices remained stable last week and remain at about 8-month highs. Copper moved up and down during the week, but closed about where it opened. And as we showed last week, copper remains close to the point on this 5-year chart at the lowest point, so copper is clearly near about 7-year lows. Copper being low is a very bad sign for the health of the global economy. Aluminum prices finished the week down a bit, but unlike copper, it has been trending up from its low of a few months ago. And related, we are seeing that aluminum inventories remain dropping, so with higher prices and low inventory, production of aluminum could increase to stabilize or lower prices. Jobless claims are up in the last reporting week. Jobless claims have been declining for years, but the question is, have they leveled off? The U.S. Federal Reserve, in a meeting last week, said they were concerned about U.S. growth, but they are still seeing job creation. The German Bund, which is the debt that is sold by the German government, went negative for the first time for its 10-year note. Multiple parts of Europe now have negative interest rates. This means that their economies are so slow, the government is saying that if you want to keep excess money with the government, we will not pay you the normal interest we pay. Instead, we will charge you a fee to park it with us. This is an incentive to lend it out at very, very low interest rates to help boost their economies. AMM, American Metal Market, announced their 7th Annual Steel Excellence Awards last week. Congratulations to Upstate Shredding and SMS, Specialized Metal Services out of Chicago, and Steel Dynamics, which also owns OmniSource, for all being named winners. Product of the week is Benlee's open-top scrap hauling gondola trailer. These units are non-dumping, frameless, and up to 53 feet long. They are a huge 125 cubic yards and are very, very efficient for carrying shreddable material or light demolition scrap. With that, we hope all have a safe and profitable week. My name is Greg Brown.